The dangerous reward. Once upon a time a man named Huwubor, who lived near the great mountain, went walking there one day. And there, under a tree, he met a messenger in a red robe who called out to him, "The Lord of the great mountain would like to see you." The man was much frightened, but dared offer no objection. The messenger bade him shut his eyes, and when he was allowed to open them again after a short time, he found himself standing before a lofty palace. He entered it to see the god. The latter had a meal prepared for him and said, "I only sent for you today because I had heard you intended traveling to the west. And in that case I should like to give you a letter to take to my daughter." "But where is your daughter?" asked the man. "She is married to the river god," was the reply. "All you need to do is to take along the letter lying there. When you reach the middle of the yellow river, beat against the side of the ship and call out, 'Greencoat.' Then someone will appear and take the letter from you." And with these words he handed Huwubor the letter, and he was taken back again to the upper world. When he came to the yellow river on his journey, he did what the Lord of the great mountain had told him, and cried, "Greencoat." And sure enough, a girl in green garments rose from the water, took him by the hand and told him to close his eyes. Then she led him into the palace of the river god, and he delivered the letter. The river god entertained him splendidly, and thanked him as best he knew how. At parting he said, "I am grateful that you have made this long journey to see me. I have nothing to give you, however, save this pair of green silk shoes. While you are wearing them you can keep on walking as long as you like and never grow weary. And they will give you the second sight, so that you will be able to see the spirits and gods." The man thanked him for the gift and returned to his ship. He continued on his journey to the west, and after a year had passed, came back again. When he reached the great mountain, he thought it would be fit and proper to report to the god. So he once more knocked against the tree and gave his name. In a moment the red-clad messenger appeared and led him to the Lord of the mountain. So he reported that he had delivered the letter to the river god, and how all things were there, and the Lord of the mountain thanked him. During the meal which the god had prepared for him, he withdrew for a few moments to a quiet spot. Suddenly he saw his deceased father, bound and loaded with chains, who together with several hundred other criminals, was doing menial labor. Moved to tears, he asked, "Oh my father, why are you here?" His father replied, "During my life on earth I happened to tread on bread, hence I was condemned to hard labor at this spot. I have passed 2 years in this manner, yet their bitterness has been unspeakable. Since you are acquainted with the Lord of the mountain, you might plead for me, and beg him to excuse me from this task and make me the field god in our village." His son promised to do so, and went back and pleaded with the Lord of the mountain as he had agreed. The latter seemed inclined to listen to his prayer, yet said warningly, "The quick and the dead tread different paths. It is not well for the dead and the living to abide near one another permanently." The man returned home. Yet, in about a year's time nearly all his children had died. In the terror of his heart he turned to the Lord of the great mountain. He beat on the tree, the red coat came and led him into the palace. There he told of his misfortune and begged the god to protect him. The Lord of the mountain smiled, "Did I not tell you in the start that the quick and the dead tread different paths, and that it is not well if they abide near each other permanently? Now you see what has happened." Yet he sent his messenger to fetch the man's father. The father came and the god spake to him as follows, "I forgave you your offense and sent you back to your home as a field god. It was your duty to bring happiness to your family. Instead, nearly all of your grandchildren have died off. Why is this?" And the father said, "I had been away from home so long that I was overjoyed to return. Besides I had meat and drink in overflowing measure. So I thought of my little grandchildren and called them to me." Then the Lord of the great mountain appointed another field god for that village, and also gave the father another place. And from that time no further misfortune happened to the family of Huwubor.